Welcome back, guys. I'm gonna make a little video to try and kind of cheer up everybody. It's been a little request, so I said, you know what, I'll make it. That's not an issue. But before we cheer everybody up, let's get part of the bad news, right? So we all know that on Sunday the whole market crashed. We all know another bad news is a shit coin or a no coin like Dogecoin pumps to, you know, a serious amount of money. All of those. So there's plenty of other stuff, right? So I want to talk about those, right? So, you know, obviously Bitcoin had a bit of a freak. I would say it was like a freak accident, right? What happened, right? It wasn't meant to be. None of the charts, nothing indicated that was going to happen. I mean, there was a slight indication that we were going to have. So these are dates that we already know, like, you know, options trading will be liquidated. We know that some of the leverage trading will be liquidated and whatnot, right? So we know all of these things. These are dates that we can see and we can expect, right? So when we have situations like this, we already know what to do, right? What kind of an action to take, you know, have your buy orders set, whatnot, right? So none of these are actually bad for the industry. We already, if we know the date, what kind of an action will happen in the industry, everything's all safe, right? We have zero issues with anything like that, right? Now, what happened with Bitcoin the other day was actually unexpected, right? Was actually very, very unexpected. What happened the other day? Sorry, I had to just, there was an idiot car wouldn't let me go, but anyway, so yeah. So what happened the other day was actually very, very unexpected. You know, the China little exchange thingy. But I think a lot of people who didn't really understand how Bitcoin works, obviously they panicked, right? You know, hash rate drops, who cares, right? Bitcoin's automatic mechanism will readjust the hash rate. It doesn't care. You know, as I mentioned it on one of my videos, that Bitcoin doesn't care how many nodes you're running. Bitcoin doesn't care who's mining it, who's not mining it. It will just go and do its own thing, right? That's the beauty about Bitcoin, right? And many other cryptocurrencies as well, but you know, just specifically talking about Bitcoin, right? So that's the thing. It dropped, right? So, but good thing is when we were looking at the charts and seeing exactly what happened, it's actually not bad, right? I wouldn't call it a correction because this wasn't a correction that was due. So we have corrections that are due, which we expect, and this is an, you know, unforeseen basically situation, right? You know, whatever happened, right? Anyway, so now that that's happened, we obviously need the market to go back up to a certain level. Plenty of our previous supports have become our resistance, and we're battling, right? But it's going to last a few days, possibly even a few weeks, right? But ultimately we're in a good zone. I did mention something to someone recently. I said, go and look at one of my old videos, and it was the one regarding the 51% attack video, right? Or something. Now, I think that was the nearest one that I could find anyway. On that video, I showed you the fib zero. And this is no financial advice, right? I'm just doing it for education. But if you look there, I mentioned something. I said, you know, the fib zero indicator, when it goes to a specific level, sell your house, right? Because it's the greatest opportunity to buy Bitcoin. So this is the kind of situation we're in, right? But right now it's not in that zone, right? This is funny, we're actually not in that zone at all, right? We're holding significant support at a specific region around the $55,000 level. So, you know, it will be kind of mental, you know, what's going to happen there, right? But also another thing to look at is the bigger picture, right? And what I want you all to do, right? So I'm going to give you like a second, pause the video if you have to after you hear this, right? I want you all, so I'm going to give you some really, really good news here. And this is what people don't notice, because the thing is they're overwhelmed with all the prices, right? So I'm not sure what kind of a wallet you use. Maybe you're using an exchange, maybe you're using a private wallet, whatever, right? Majority, now I know 99.9% of all the wallets in the world, cryptocurrency wallets in the world, will show you the value in BTC, not your native currency. So if you can see it in BTC, I want you to go and look in your BTC value. So for example, before the crash, you may have seen your BTC value or whatever, right? You had, say for example, I'm going to round it off here. Say for example, you had 1 Bitcoin, just for the sake of it, right? You have 1 Bitcoin. and you know we've had a crash, right? So you know that your monetary value has dropped by, you know, $10,000, right? Let's just call it $10,000. Go and look in your wallet, right? Pause the video, go and look in your wallet and go and see the BTC value, not your native currency. And what you realize, you've got right now, even though the market is down, even though the total market is down, some of the coins are down by 10, 15%, 20%. Go and look at your wallet, and what you'll notice, it's valued more in BTC. So you've probably got 10, 20% more BTC in your wallet, right? And you'll probably be wondering, but hold on, it doesn't make any sense. How? But what's happened is, when the market crashed, a lot of the coins, the good coins, right, they didn't really crash. They reflected the price based on the BTC value. I've mentioned this many times. Cryptocurrencies, they show on the market cap your dollar value, but they're not valued in dollar. They're valued in BTC. The crypto sphere is not valued in dollar. This is the truth, right? Everybody's competing against Bitcoin. So all of them are valued in BTC. So obviously BTC drops its price, right? So BTC is the only one that's against the dollar, by the way, right? And everything else is against BTC. That's why we have that dominance. That's what you have to understand, right? So BTC price has a little bit of a dump, and everything else captures momentum and dominance against Bitcoin. By doing that, they're now worth more in BTC, even though the price doesn't reflect it. So there was one coin, one particular coin that I was actually talking about. I mentioned on one of the groups, and I'm sure everyone knows. We were talking about what was it? Engine. So you know my strategy. Whatever quantity I will buy, I will always round it up. So that's what I do. I usually round it up, whether I'm calculating in monetary value or whether I'm calculating in BTC value. It's always going to be a rounded figure. You know, I'm not going to mess around with the figure. So if it's going to be £10, then it's £10. It's not going to be £10 or £11, right? It's always going to be £10. If it's going to be 100, it's going to be 100. So, and you can see that on my video part 2 of how to take profits, right? That one there, I've mentioned it clearly. What I, you know, the strategy, what I do. So by doing that, I realized that the price dropped dramatically. But if you look at the BTC value right now, you will notice that it's up 20% in BTC value. And guess what? That particular balance itself has 20% more Bitcoin in there now. So this is what I want you to see, the bigger picture, right? So monetary value, of course, everything is down because of the market and XYZ. But when BTC dominance keeps on dropping, your altcoins give you more BTC. Of course, a lot of people would be confused, because the thing is when you're looking at dominance and when you're looking at price, you're confusing the life out of yourself, right? And a lot of people actually do kind of don't understand. They're like, hold on, my wallet was, you know, £10,000, but my wallet is still showing £8,000. Yes, your wallet is still showing £8,000, but your wallet had 1 BTC. Now your wallet is showing 1.2 BTC. So guess what? You just made more BTC, right? People don't understand this. So look at the bigger picture, go and open your wallet, and you'll be amazed. You've now automatically, by default, because of the dominance drop, have made more BTC without doing anything. What else you want? And I've also mentioned on a chat, I said, I've literally gained more BTC literally by doing nothing. And what I meant by that was, you know, my strategy of making sure I take my initial investments out as soon as I can whenever I've made significant gains, and I only leave the profit behind and take my initial out. Well, I do the strategy, and all my initial are already out and put into other stuff. But the profits that I left there, they're now worth more in BTC. So I've just got myself free BTC, right? That's what I mean, free BTC, free money, right? Depends how you look at it. So that's what's happened. So I really want you guys to go and have a look at this. Pause the video if you have to. Just go and look at your wallet right now, and you'll be shocked, right? Your BTC value is worth a lot more, and that's how you monitor it. Also, someone asked me, same person actually asked me, he asked me, he said, you know, how to not get overwhelmed and how to take profits out. Well, bro, it's the same strategy. Basically, just flip your wallet balance to the BTC value. Keep an eye on the BTC value, regardless what monetary value it shows. So don't worry about the money value. If you're seeing a specific coin pumping and becoming worth more in BTC, then the only thing you need to do is take out your initial if you want, or flip it over to BTC. Because the thing is the market will have, so right now this is the official altcoin season about to start. Currently we're at 50.3% dominance. As soon as we go to 49, right, even 49.9, boom, we're in altcoin season. And that's when the drama will start, right? Because BTC will just keep on plunging down, but it won't change the price, so don't panic about that, right? BTC won't lose its price value, because guess what's going to happen? This is the best news, right? Exactly what I just told you to do is flip it over to BTC. Well, guess what everybody's going to do? All the big boys out there. And I'm talking about, because remember, we've got a $2 trillion market cap. And I told you, it's not retail. So what do you think the big boys are going to do? They're going to do the same thing. When they make more BTC, free BTC, of course, right? Because it's hard to get BTC, right? It's expensive. So if they can get more BTC for their money or whatever investments they've made, right? Some of these investments they could have made as far back as, like, so for example, like a month ago, right? So very recent as a month ago, right? Or some maybe years ago, but that's not the point. The point is, if you're getting more BTC free of charge, right? All your altcoins are pumping into BTC. Then of course, guess what they're going to do? They're going to flip it to BTC. When BTC has enough flips, right, enough flips, and BTC starts showing dominance again, the flip is going to be very rapid, by the way. So as you can see, going down from where we were at 70% dominance, from 70% going down, you know, slowly, you know, gradually getting there, right? It's a slow process. It lasts weeks, if not months, right? So I'm kind of excited. Forget the part that I haven't shared. That's got nothing to do with it, right? It's just me being me, right? What I'm trying to say is I'm really excited, because the market right now is going to gradually, slowly, you know, the dominance is going to drop on BTC, and everything else is going to gain more dominance, but everything else is going to be worth more in BTC, right? So I'm excited because you're getting a lot more BTC. And then obviously when the market decides to flip, that's when you got to be careful, right? So if as soon as you can, when you're comfortable, obviously, I mean, my recommendation is whenever you double, just take out your initial, right? Then you're not really losing anything, right? But then when the market will flip, it's going to leave everything behind. You all of a sudden you'll see the BTC dominance is high, everything else dominance is dropped, right? They're not worth anything in BTC anymore. That's the parabolic move that you want to be worried about. But if you're prepared psychologically, mentally, and also financially, by making sure you take your initial investment out. If you doubled it, just take your initial investment out. You'll be laughing. You're going to enjoy it a lot more. You know, I know it's kind of like, you know, when you look at the price and it's kind of disappointing, like, you know, when you're looking at your wallet balances, it's disappointing. Oh, I've just lost all that money. Get the money out of your head. Right, money has nothing. Also, now let's talk about another thing as well, right? So we got all of these stupid coins, right? Fake coins, altcoins, shit coins, whatever you want to call them, right? You know, Doge, sticking the coin at the end of it doesn't mean it's a Doge. It doesn't mean it's a coin. You take a piece of paper and write something on it, doesn't mean it's money. All right, that's what I'm trying to say, right? Anybody could turn around and say that's my money, monopoly money, or whatever, it's money, but it doesn't make it real money, right? You know, real money has to be adopted and used by people as money. So obviously with Dogecoin, someone could argue and say, well, there's a company who decided to basically go and they're using it as their payment. They're accepting payments in that. Yeah, that's probably because they're bag holders. That's probably because they bought it when it was nothing, right? When you've got a company showing so much bullishness, clearly they've got other motives, right? This is what I want you to understand. There are plenty of stuff out there you need to understand. Just look at the other picture. Too many people are bag holders from way back in the days, or some people have gone in new. But ultimately, just be cautious. That's all I'm saying. I mean, if you're going to make money on it, if you're on it already and you make money, good luck to you. I'm not stopping you. I'm not going to tell you not to. I'm just telling you that I personally won't, and I'm careful, right? Because these are pump and dump coins, and you've got to be really careful on pump and dump coins, right? You know, you don't want to be dabbling yourself in them, because they are dangerous. They can wreck you. So that's basically all I'm going to say. So, you know, when you've got some kind of a shit coin coming around, right, and sticking the thing at the end of it, it's not really, doesn't mean it's a coin, right? You know, so for example, Ethereum, I like it. Ethereum doesn't call itself a coin. It's Ethereum, right? It doesn't call itself a coin, right? Polkadot doesn't call itself a coin. Cardano doesn't call itself a coin. This is funny. So you get the genuine coins out there, genuine, right? These are coins, but they don't call themselves coins because the fact is, well, actually, they're not coins. But the point is they're not coins, and they don't say they're coins. They don't call it a Cardano coin. They just call it Cardano, right? They don't call it a Polkadot coin. They call it Polkadot, right? But then you have Mona coin, this coin, Sia coin, shit coin, whatever coin. Just by calling it a coin, it doesn't make it a coin, right? Most of those are just smart contracts. Now, the bigger picture about all of this, right, is very simple. Every one of these shit coins, and there's so many more dog coins coming out as well. I've mentioned it on the chat, right? So I think there's 2 or 3 more dog coins. So they're trying to copy what Doge did. Absolutely zero value, just creating a coin and trying to basically hype it. And I bet you any money, the founders who are doing it, they're holding majority and they're going to offload on you and try and take your BTC, right? But the fact is all of these companies coming out, making joke coins, whatnot coin, dog coins, cat coins probably in the future, maybe even a rabbit coin, God knows, right? But the point is, they just want your BTC. Why don't you understand this, right? You might argue and say, well, I didn't buy it with BTC. It's fine. You personally, one individual, probably never bought it with BTC, right? You probably bought it with something else, but it's crypto. Everything is valued in BTC. Everybody wants your BTC, right? So guys, be careful. What you got to understand is, what I'm saying, they want your BTC, it means whatever the currency they're going to accept for it, they're going to convert it back to BTC. Everybody just wants your BTC. The number one. They just want number one. That's all they want. Nobody cares about number 2. Nobody cares about number 3, number 4, number 5, number 10, whatever. They don't care. They just want your BTC. And my argument is, if you are already in some of these shit coins and now you can get some more BTC, bloody hell, take your BTC. All right, it's godsend, right? You're getting a bonus in BTC. Accept it, take it, and go and enjoy life, right? Because the thing is, the more BTC you can accumulate, right? If you take the current amount, right? Let me give you this, right? Take the current amount of available BTC, and that will include even the lost ones. Divide it by the population of the world, right? And what you'll find is, if everybody was to own a BTC, then they will only get 0.001 or 0.002 or something like that, right, of a BTC. Look how scarce it is. And then you know that there are whales out there with 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. I mean, Michael Saylor has 96,000 Bitcoins. 96,000. Has anyone even thought about that? Grayscale have almost 1%. The Winklevoss brothers, they have, like, you know, the original founders of Facebook, they have almost 1% of all the BTC in the world. Is anybody even thinking about that, right? So guys, it's scarce. And if you're getting the godsend opportunity to get more BTC, right, by doing nothing, then you know what? Take it, because that's what I would do. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, right? So I hope you guys kind of understand this. You know, don't worry about all the noise. There'll be plenty. Right now, by the way, there's going to be another something that's going to happen, and I'm calling it right now, okay? You're going to see so much FUD in the market regarding BTC. So much FUD, right? So much fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Basically fake news. What's going to happen now is, right now, while everybody's concentrating on the alts and seeing how much gains they're making and being all like very highly optimistic, oh, I'm making more money, it's going to go up a little bit more, and you'll see massive hype news for the alts, right? Don't FOMO, right? And then you'll see the complete opposite for Bitcoin. Oh yeah, Bitcoin's dead, Bitcoin's gonna get replaced, Bitcoin is shit, Bitcoin's over, and everything. What you have to understand is, all of this is accumulation phase, right, for the elite, right? So the big boys are gonna allow you to pump all the shit coins, right? You know, all the FOMO, the news and everything, and they're gonna be offloading it off to you while they're getting themselves ready in the BTC positions. All right, I've mentioned it on another video, I believe. I'm not sure, I think it's on a video or a group or something. I mentioned it. Let me mention this again here on this video, right? This is quite funny. I talk about on-chain and off-chain, right? So, you know, a lot of the big boys, they like to buy off-chain. They don't want to trigger their price, right? So, you know, even say, for example, even say 100 Bitcoin bought on chain at a specific price could easily pump stuff. Yeah, sure. I didn't actually post it here. I think I posted it on a private group, so I just remembered. Yeah, and I did post something recently similar on Twitter. There was this massive pump regarding what's it called, Pundi X, right? So it was, I made a video on it. It was a very mini video, right? Where someone actually went on an exchange and bought one Pundi X for $54,000. Right, which is kind of stupid, but anyway, they did that, right? They bought it for 1 Bitcoin basically, and that triggered the price, and then it showed up. Now, doing deeper analysis, it seems like it wasn't actually on that day. While they were doing the upgrade, it showed up, right? So correction, it wasn't on that day, but it did trigger that while they were doing the upgrade, and so many people started to FOMO in. While people were FOMOing in, so many other people who already owned it, guess what they did? They just dumped it on them and walked out. Happy days, right? They made more money. I mean, on that day, if somebody bought $300 worth of Pundi X and sold it, they got, well, 300 pounds. Yeah, it was 300 pounds. It would have got you $300 would have got you $900,000 worth in BTC, right? So, I mean, someone's made some money, right? Anyway, leave that aside. But the point is the same thing could happen on BTC, right? It's not, you can't protect it. It will happen, and let me explain what will happen. All the boys are going to accumulate off-chain. All the boys are going to do it while you're not looking, right under your nose, right? So you are panicking, you are selling, FOMO, or even you're going into alts with your BTC and like, okay, you know, someone's going to come up on YouTube, some idiot, and it's going to say, oh, you know what, buy this with Bitcoin because you can 10x your Bitcoin. And then obviously the idiot doesn't want to go, whoever the person is, doesn't want to go and do their own research, goes and buys it with a Bitcoin, and these guys are offloading on them, because there's a lot of scammers, by the way. There's more scammers on YouTube, Twitter, other social profiles, Facebook, you know, scammers basically. And of course the companies that are there, majority of them are scammers. They have no project, right? There's nothing there. It's just a smart contract. So anyway, let's leave that aside as well, right? The point is so they're going to be, all of these, while all the FUD is going to happen, the institutional boys under your nose are going to go buy all the Bitcoin as they can. They're going to be accumulating the Bitcoin. And then once they're ready, handful of them, you know, we don't know who. I mean, last time I think I know who it was. But the point is a handful of them are going to go and do it right at the end of it, by the way, when they want Bitcoin to flip again. And when they want to wreck you, right? So they've done their selling, they've done everything, they've offloaded all the shitcoins to you. What they're going to do now, right, is they're going to go and trigger the on-chain. So they're going to go on-chain and say, right, I want to buy Bitcoin at this price. And they're going to bump the price. As soon as it triggers, even one single coin triggers a specific buy order at a higher rate, boom, Bitcoin now shoots, everything else collapses. So what I want you to take away from this is, if you've already got altcoins, great. Make as much money as you can, make as much more BTC as you can, all right? But try and get yourself into more of a BTC position, or even Ethereum position if you can, right? Try and get yourself there as much as you can. And, you know, try and scale out of the altcoins as much as you can. That's what I'm trying to give to you. However, there may be coins that, you know, have the potential to pump, say, you know, 5 years time or whatever. Again, never ever put your asset, lock your asset for another 5 years. What you should be doing is, you know, if the coins are pumping right now, take out as much of your profit or initial investment as you can, and then basically leave the remainder. That will be safe, right? That way you don't, it's not costing you anything, it won't hurt you, and you know, so you have a nice little split position. So you've got some of the free coins, which was the profit, and then your initial investment has been scaled back into BTC, and now you hold more BTC for the same amount of money that you had. So hope that kind of makes sense to you. Again, guys, remember, you know, I'm just making videos to educate everybody and warn everybody about the problems that are in the market, and also try and keep confidence and educate you to understand the industry a little bit more, and also see the bigger picture. I'm not a financial advisor. I will never advise anybody financially. I don't do pumps, I don't do you know, dumps, none of that business, right? I'm not doing any of those. 90% of the coins that I've owned or I have touched or you know, messed around with, I've never mentioned them. I never will mention them. You know, recently I made a video and I've kind of exposed some of them, but again, it's not financial advice. You do you, I do me. But the point is, you know, they do have potential, I see it, but then I've also mentioned exactly what my strategy is. Even though I do kind of believe in them, I think they have potential. Even then, my strategy, I will never ever default from that, right? It's gonna stay intact. That's the strategy. That's what I'm gonna keep. That's what's worked for me so far, and that's how I've managed to stay afloat without getting burnt, right? So these palms and these dumps, you know, flash crash, whatever, nothing affects me because of that one single strategy. You know, you're in, you make money, you take your initial out, leave your profit there, right? It's free money. So then it doesn't affect you. That's all I'm saying, right? Other than that, guys, I won't make it any long. I hope this kind of helps. I'm not going to drag it any longer. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on another one. Thank you very much. Adios, amigos.